Hi friends! In your Holy Week at Home or On the Go kit, there's a heart with today's scripture reference on it. It's Matthew 22, 34 through 40. I bet you can guess the theme of this passage. Jesus and the disciples are in Jerusalem for the Passover celebration. It's their final week together, and tension between Jesus and the religious leaders is mounting. One day, Jesus and the disciples are in the temple, and Jesus is teaching in parables. The religious leaders, the Pharisees and Sadducees, the scribes and the priests, are watching Jesus, this peasant carpenter from Galilee, this tourist in the temple, walking around like he owns the place. Now, if I were Jesus, I probably would have said something like, well, of course I'm walking around like I own the place. It is my Father's house. But Jesus, in his infinite wisdom, knew that a wisecrack like that was exactly what the religious leaders were looking for. Any excuse to accuse him of blasphemy so that they could have him arrested. And they were looking hard. The religious leaders were asking Jesus all kinds of difficult questions and presenting him with hypothetical situations to try and trap him in a misspoken word, or to try and trip him up in his understanding of God or God's law. So there was a Pharisee who had been watching all of this and observing and listening to Jesus answer the hypothetical situation that had been posed by the Sadducees. And this Pharisee asked Jesus, "Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest?" Now, when we think of the commandments, we usually think of the Big Ten. Many of us have the 10 Commandments memorized. So how hard could it be to pick the most important out of 10? Well, actually, there are many more than 10 commandments in the Jewish law. I admit I haven't counted them myself, but several trustworthy sources confirm that there are 613 commandments in the Jewish law. How do you pick the greatest out of 613? Jesus said to the Pharisee, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment. And a second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets." All of the commandments can be summed up in 4 words. Love God, love others. The Pharisee asked for one greatest commandment, but Jesus gave him 2. Like 2 hinges on a door, these commandments work together. To open your life to loving God is to open your life to loving others. To allow God to operate in your life is to allow that God also operates in the lives of others. So I want to encourage you to put your heart somewhere where you can see it regularly, as a reminder that the way we love each other demonstrates the reality of our love for God. Thanks for listening. I'll see you again tomorrow.
Lest I forget, oh Lord, thy love for me. Lead me to Calvary. Lead me to Calvary.